On ESPN Radio 1700 with local credit expert Derek Evans. Now, live in studio, Mr. Credit.
Here, the most important hour in radio. I'm telling you everything they don't want you to know, and today we've got no exception to that rule. You won't believe some of the stuff that's going on out there. I promise you don't know about it yet. Visit MrCreditRadio.com if you want to send me an email or do a Facebook search for Mr. Credit, and you will find me there. Redesign happening on MrCreditRadio.com. That will be up probably the next week or so. Very cool and exciting stuff going on there. You can shoot me emails through there. There's also a phone number and other information about the partners that we have on this show, such as our wonderful guest that we have in the studio today, William McDonald with the McDonald Legal Group. William, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Are you sweating bullets on Saturday or what, man?
That was frightening.
Now,
I told you in the last show I was worried about that game.
Well, I wasn't, and I should have been. You were right. I was wrong. They did win, but you really, for a low-scoring game, you just didn't see that coming for that game right there between Oregon and Cal. Obviously, William McDonald, McDonald Legal Group, debt relief experts, and bankruptcy attorneys. Now, the thing about Oregon is you went to law school in Oregon, so you've got a real soft spot there. Oregon is obviously the best football team in college football right now. And to go into Cal, everybody knows Cal plays really good at home. You're wondering where's the scare because the schedule just doesn't look that scary. Is it going to be a walk? Everyone just assumed it'd be a walk, and you must have been just sweating bricks.
Yeah, Cal's really tough at home, and Tedford used to be Oregon's offensive coordinator.
That was the inside scoop that I remember you telling me some sort of inside scoop, and that was it. Okay, so it was the coach for Cal used to be the offensive coordinator for Oregon.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow. That makes a big difference.
I definitely think he had some inside knowledge there that helped him out.
Plus, when he was the offensive coordinator, what years were that? Because was that when Dixon was there? Was that when they were running gun, or was it before that?
I think I was surprised when I saw. I think he's been at Cal for now 8 years. So
it's been.
I know when the Ducks were good. Actually, when I was in law school, that's when they went on their run and they actually went to number 2 in the country. But for the 3 years I was there, the Ducks were really good. Mm-hmm. They went to the Holiday Bowl and then they destroyed Colorado in I think it was the Fiesta Bowl.
Who doesn't destroy Colorado these days? All right, so we got some very interesting stuff today. Got the credit tip coming up here in a little bit. We talked about, yesterday we talked about something that I thought was totally parallel with today, which was running up the score. We talked about how, there's big discussion right now about running up the score in college. Is that something that's, okay to do? I guess it's good we're talking about Oregon. They seem to just kind of automatically run up the score. And, we talked about that in the NFL as well. And I'm thinking about running up the score, and the first thing that comes to mind is, this is exactly what the banks do. They run the score up on everybody. Running the score up is what? It's being greedy, isn't it? I mean, when it comes down to it, it's like, well, you already have what you need to accomplish your goal. If you're a big bank, you already have what you need to accomplish your goal. You're already making money hand over fist. If you're winning 60-20, you don't need to score 3 more touchdowns. You're already going to accomplish your goal, right? So I look at running up the score, and I'm like, you know what? In our society, this is just kind of what people strive for. People strive to run up the score. People strive for greed. They want the bigger boat. They want the nicer, fancy plane. And this is exactly what bank executives do, and the big banks do, and the big government does. They run up the score on you constantly. The document that I gave you last time you were in about the 59% interest rate one of our listeners sent in from a credit card offer, a guy who has 720 credit. And right on the front of that document, they're saying, oh, we know your credit's not so good. They're just trying to run the score up on him.
Yep. And
so I looked at that, and I just thought, I love when we can parallel these things in sports life because it makes it so much easier for people to understand, how to make a decision about it. And is it good or is it not? Now, when I talk about running up the score, I think that's something that teams should be able to do, and no one should look at them badly for it. Because the truth is that there's a check and balance there. One team versus one team, that's a fair, they have the same amount of coaches, same amount of players, you know what I mean? They all have it's an equal playing field. But when you talk about the banks versus the consumers, that's not what we have. We don't have an equal playing field. We've got these huge corporations with so much money they can do anything they want. They can buy anyone they want. They've got an enormous amount of legal staff, that's on staff. I mean, that's W-2'd, getting paid by the bank to work on whatever it is they want them to work on. That's not fair.
And when they violate the law, they can just write a check, unlike you and I.
Very good point. So when they make a mistake, it'd be like saying, if you're talking about two football teams playing each other and making the comparison there, let's stick with that analogy. That'd be like somebody, we're going to give you a penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct. Oh, no, pick that flag up. Here's $50,000.
Yep.
That's what they do. Think about it like that. That's what the banks do. We've got them continually admitting to doing things wrong, unbelievable things like putting 55,000 families on the street. Wells Fargo admitted to that.
Yep.
Violating the Consumer Fraud Act. They just write a check, and then it all goes away. So an interesting parallel there to start the conversation off today. And there's so many different things. By the way, did you catch San Diego State beat Gonzaga?
I was just going to say, how about the Aztecs? That was a great game.
Aztecs. I'm glad I made the note.
Yeah, I was going to say that to start off the show.
In Gonzaga.
Which I think they've only lost 4 games in like a decade or something. I mean, the stats were.
I think it was since the coach has been there, they've only lost 4 games at home.
Right,
Gonzaga. Now that's
at home. At
home, right? And we just added to that, and it was unbelievable. We handled the pressure.
They really dominated the game. The score was closer than it really was.
Yeah,
they kind of let them back in. Let the Zags back in at the end.
Let the Zags back in. Great for the Zags. Had a career high. Their best player had a career high in scoring, and we still won. San Diego State is a very legit basketball team. I would say they're definitely, no question, a top 25 team. Maybe even a top 15 team. That's how good San Diego State is right now.
No love from Sports Illustrated. They were slighted.
Really? Well, take that. Okay, they're saying men's top 20. Yeah, well, it's okay for us not to be in the top 20 yet, but you see Gonzaga listed on there as number 14, and I think you're going to see that Gonzaga's going to slide a little. San Diego State is going to make a move higher, and when we look at the average rankings, let's say midway through the season, I think you're going to find that San Diego State is a top 10 to top 15 team. They're really quick. Everybody's fast. Everybody can shoot. They had free throw problems last year. They obviously worked those out. 2 clutch free throws at the end of the game. They did everything right. I mean,
and they have a great coach. I mean, Steve Fisher.
A very tenured coach, been around forever, understands basketball. Yeah, guy's done a lot. So we've got a lot of things going. San Diego State Aztecs men's basketball. Keep your eyes peeled. Go check out a game. That's a team that's worth watching. So we talk about the banks running up the score. The FTC has just appointed a new chief technologist, which we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk also about how Bank of America is trying to dismiss the big lawsuit that's been filed against them for the robo-signing incident and exactly what's going on there. But when we talk about running up the score and the banks doing that and just, how that can get to someone, I see it in a lot of different ways, and I know you do too. Number one, I see it in, hey, minimum payments just got doubled. What do I do? Why did that happen? They're saying it's because of my credit. Could be from an inquiry. They'll take any reason they can to do anything they can to scrape more money out of you. Oh, we're going to double your minimum payments because, you got an inquiry from somebody, so we're worried about it. I mean, they're going to take any excuse they can. It's all written in the fine print of the cardholder agreement. Raising interest rates, same thing. Oh, well, my interest rate just went up. I didn't do anything. Well, maybe you had a balance that just went over a certain threshold on a certain card, and they noticed that. Remember, they're checking your credit all the time. They're spying on you. Every chance they get to try to figure out how to market to you and how to take more money out of your wallet. That's just what they do. So, taking aim at minimum payments, taking aim at interest rates on people's credit cards, that's just where it begins.
And what I found in my practice is they won't work with you. These banks, all my clients, the majority of them, I should say, have tried to contact them ahead of time and say, hey, look, I can't make, I'm in furlough now. My pay's been cut. Can you work with me, or can I, not make a payment for a few months or work out a payment plan or something? And they always say no. And then once we're getting ready to file for bankruptcy to level the playing field, then they want to come to the table and I'll get letters from the creditor saying, oh, we want to work with you now. And all my clients just roll their eyes saying, well, where were you, 6 months ago when I had reached out to you, the creditor, for help, and you just told me to pound sand. And now, because now they're worried because they're going to take a loss, now they want to come to the table, but it's too late.
At that point, it's actually a really good situation because you get to laugh back at them the way that they were laughing at you the whole time when you were trying to contact them and make arrangements with them to make payments for what you could afford. Now, it could be because of a loss of income. It could be because of loss of job. It could be a lot of reasons why that might happen. You might get behind. They could just be jacking payments up unexpectedly on you. You might have other expenses. The car breaks down. There's things that life happens.
Medical bills. They could
man.
Car repairs.
You name it. There's so many different things that can come up unexpectedly and put you in a bad situation. But the truth is that you don't have to let financial stress control your life. You don't have to. You don't have to. If you have the connection, which you do because you listen to this show, with William McDonald and a very good law firm like this who knows how to help you become debt-free legally. Do you realize that? You can legally become debt-free. You can delete all of your unsecured debts. That includes your credit card debt. What if you took all of your credit card bills right now, threw them in the trash, and never paid them again? That's what Chapter 7 bankruptcy does for you. It gets that gorilla off your back. But it's not just the credit cards. It's the medical bills. It's the collections. It's wage garnishments. Even some IRS tax debts can fall into a certain criterion in which those can be discharged in bankruptcy. It can stave off foreclosure, save you from the recourse of a second mortgage in a short sale or foreclosure. There's so many things that the Chapter 7 does for you. It's the number one thing they don't want you to know, because they don't want you to be debt-free. They want you to keep paying interest. They want to keep flying the private planes and sipping the expensive scotch. And they get to do that the longer you stay away from bankruptcy. But you know what? You can be smarter than them. You can make the call to give yourself the education you need to see how you can use the law to your advantage. The same way Donald Trump, the same way Abe Lincoln, Honest Abe, the same way Henry Ford, Walt Disney have in the past. The phone number is 858-437-0103 if you want to see about becoming debt-free. 858-437-0103. That call will go straight to your office, William. Anyone can set up an appointment to meet with you and get a free consultation, free legal advice, free education about how to become debt-free, how you can do it legally, and ultimately, what would that do for you and your family? Because right now, a lot of people have to make decisions. Hey, what's best for me and my family right now? You know, what's best for us? And this is going to help a lot of people.
Right. There's no obligation. Just come in. We'll sit down and we'll review your financial situation and go from there. And I give you the options if bankruptcy is the right option, and which chapter is best for you, Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. And just kind of give you a roadmap so you can figure out, what would be best for your family. Mm-hmm. And maybe bankruptcy isn't an option, and I'll let you know that. There's no pressure. It's just a matter of making informed decisions.
Yep. And if you have that information, you can make the informed decision that's going to be best for your family. It's all about doing what's best for you. We're big consumer advocates. If there's anyone who's a bigger one than me, it's William. Not only that, you will enjoy speaking with him and at least making a game plan and becoming educated. It's very, very empowering. Make the call. 858-437-0103 if you want to become debt-free. 858-437-0103. When we come back, we're going to talk about Michael Vick's story. Why is it that everyone is in love with it? And how about women's basketball? Are you interested? I'll tell you if I am when we come back. Mr. Credit Radio, ESPN 1700.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, the ring of fire.
You know, I've worked with plenty of different mortgage companies in San Diego, and while there are some who do a great job, there is only one that I can say is truly the best in the business. The Craig Sewing Lending Group provides an experience and expertise in real estate financing that is absolutely second to none. I've known Craig for a dozen years, and I know you would be satisfied working with him. Call 888-880-9500. That's 888-880-9500, or go to craigsewing.com if you're interested in buying real estate in Southern California. It's also worth considering the terms on your loan if you already own property. Rates are at levels that just absolutely boggle the mind right now, and chances are you could save some easy money here. Call Craig Sewing today, 888-880-9500, and tell him Mr. Credit sent you. That's 888-880-9500, or online at craigsewing.com.
All persons have the right to a dignified life and freedom without discrimination, the right to be informed and to decide. The authorities are obliged to respect and enforce your rights. Know and exercise your rights. They're yours. National Rights Primer. Use it and share it.
Well, you bought her a car. You bought her a house. You even bought her that rock.
If you're facing a divorce, custody, or child support issue, don't go it alone. You need the professionals at 1-800-DIVORCE.